Well, welcome to the Burnt Bridge podcast. Today we have a very special guest. My bestie Olivia is here. Olivia is genuinely one of the most special people that I have in my life. Truly my kindred spirit in so many ways. And we're honored to have you here. Welcome, Olivia.
I'm honored to be here.
And we're just so honored to have you. Okay, I've been teasing this story to Olivia because I wanted to save it for the podcast.
I'm so excited.
I wanted to tell an embarrassing story that happened to me today. Literally jail time for me. So this morning I'm leaving Will's apartment and, you know, we're both going to work and I don't really wake up until I'm awake for at least 1 to 2 hours.
Right.
So let's keep that in mind as we hear the rest of the story. So we go down the elevator. I'm about to get off on the floor where my car is, okay?
Yeah.
And there's another man on the elevator. So it's me, my boyfriend, one random man.
Okay.
And
so Will's there with you.
Correct, yes. And indeed. And what should be noted is, like, not by design, but, like, anytime we kiss goodbye, there's usually, like, 2 pecks. Like, it's not anything, and it's not, like, that's just, like, how it always has been. Like, and I just noticed things like that. Obviously, like, I should have considered that we were in a public setting, right? And it's not, like, an intense, it's just, like, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to get off, like, mind you, like, in a t-shirt, just, like, not with it yet. It's, like, 8:30. So I'm like, okay, bye. You know, kiss him once. And then my eyes are still closed. Go in for the second. He's no longer there. He's moved completely. So I literally am like, like those fucking TikToks of, like, people, like, men going in for a kiss.
Did he notice you?
Oh, and everyone laughed because then I, like, fall forward a bit, lips out, puckered up, straight up, and, like, I fall forward. He laughs, the other guy laughs. I think the other guy laughed. In my mind, he laughed. I'm not sure if he did. And then I just ran away. And because it was like, it felt like rejection. But obviously, like, it wasn't. It was just like, what are you doing?
It's like a public humiliation ritual that he just did for you.
And that was the morning. Like, I had the whole rest of the day to deal with that instance. I thought about it. Like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And I thought about what I should have said afterwards. And I think I wanted to, like, turn around and just say, just for the record, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. No, I'm hoping we never speak of it again. Oh. That's going to be the goal. But I did want to tell everyone about it. So
never going to bring it up again, but I am going to
I'll bring it up, but no one else can.
Deal.
As with most things. Anyway, so that's my story, and I just had to tell you about it.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it was. And I just really needed you to...
And
I know that you, like, would feel how I felt in that moment.
I'm imagining in my head right now. Puckered up, lips out. I'm feeling it.
And, like...
Oh, and then...
So bad. It was so bad. Anyways, that's all. Okay, let's talk about how we met. Because I think it's a beautiful story. So to protect the sanctity of things, we'll say we met at a meeting.
Yes, we did.
We did. Because that's the truth.
Just through people.
Yeah, through people.
That
knew both of us.
Yes.
And
it was magical.
It was really magical.
If y'all ever watched Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania mentioned.
Y'all know how they zinged?
That's
it's us. Like that, but, like, 2 straight girls, platonic.
It's like an Avatar when they make a Halu.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
Exactly.
And truly, like, neither of us are very, how would you say, like, socially good?
Yeah.
Like, good at socially things?
Good in a public setting in a way that makes us connect with others.
I can't really, like, meet a new person. That's hard for me.
No.
It's hard for you too, I think.
Very terrifying, actually.
But it was,
at all
like,
times.
Genuinely, it was the first time in my life that I've ever had an experience where just upon meeting someone, I was like, oh my God, I know you. Yeah. Like, we just knew each other immediately.
Also, we're not huggers. No. I think we went in for a hug, and then we literally were just, like, staring at each other for a moment, and we were like, hi. Hey. Like, that's how I remember it. It was like, we literally were like, hey. And then, of course, like, other people came up while we were talking. We're just like,
Hey, you're actually ruining this moment.
Get out. Like, I'm
Yeah.
singing with this group right now.
And I think you were telling me that you were doing graphic design. I was like, oh my God, we're the same person.
Were set up.
We were really set up. And then that started me being your sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, because that's how we met. I was looking for a sponsor, and I was just like, I need somebody. And so people were like, yo, I know this chick. Come to this meeting. You'll meet her. And I was like, absolutely. I'm so terrified. Because meetings in general have always just also given me anxiety. So also meeting somebody on top of that, I was like, oh.
Meeting at a meeting?
Meeting at a meeting, that's a lot to ask for me. Mm-hmm. For a girl like me.
Mm-hmm. Period. I know that's right.
Ooh. But it literally went amazing. And I'm pretty sure you shared at that meeting. And I was just like in awe of you. And
that's so nice.
But yeah, you became my sponsor. And honestly, the best sponsor in the world.
Oh, thank you.
Even though
I did like become too close to you, and then I had to stop being your sponsor.
Yeah, and for about 6 months after you became my sponsor, I didn't talk to you.
Correct.
I did occasionally, and then finally when I was like, I guess we're getting sober now, and I know this girl's sober. And weird thing is, she's also my sponsor. I've ghosted for 6 months. I'm gonna hit her up. And then we just started like talking every day. We used to like FaceTime.
Highlight of my day.
Call you when I was watching Game of Thrones. Really distraught and upset.
Olivia got more emotionally involved with Game of Thrones than perhaps anyone I've ever known or met. It was like, you called me when, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, it's been long enough, you should have watched it by now. When Jon Snow like fake dies, you called me in true hysterics. Like, you're like, why would you ever have recommended this show to me?
Like, okay, it's really upsetting, especially when, like, okay, Jon Snow was basically real in my life. So, what do you want me to say?
He was real to me.
And, yeah, I remember streaming to you the wedding and having a live reaction. And I was like, oh, my God. It was a very hard time for me, okay? I needed my sponsor there to support me.
You're so right. I think that actually says that in the book somewhere, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. If you are distraught over Game of Thrones,
call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor, or else you might relapse right now.
And I get it. And those calls were genuinely, I just looked forward to them so much. And then at some point, I was like, you are my best friend and I want you to be my best friend, and therefore I can't be your sponsor because like I don't want to, like a sponsor is supposed to be someone you call and they tell you what the program would say,
right? And
I was more like, girl,
I know. For a while it was like, sponsor hat, I did this, or like you would give me some advice, which goated. And then you'd be like, but as a friend, this. I'm like, also goated. It was all great advice. But yeah, it definitely became a thing where I was like, I don't know how you can sponsor me, because also I did not want to work the steps or like do sponsor and sponsy things. So I was like, ew. So every time he would actually attempt with me, I was like, can we literally go get Sonic and like pet your dog? And I don't want to talk about any of this.
Well, and it's funny because I think like you were too afraid to tell me that, and I was too afraid to tell you that, like, because we're both so like oversensitive and overthinkers that I was like, the true essence of what I'm gonna say is you're becoming my best friend, and that can't exist in the same space as like a true sponsorship. Yeah. And I like gave you the option. I was like, this is just what it is. So.
I'm breaking up with you.
But like I wasn't. I wanted to be closer. But I was like, I hope that that's going to come across. And then you were like not wanting to do the stuff, but you were like too afraid to tell me that. And so then it was like just this crazy thing of like, wow, what would happen if we just openly communicated with each other?
Who would have thought? Yeah. Yeah. And for a while I really did try to like, I would just restart the steps like every month, because I was just like, one of these days I'm going to actually do it. Yeah. And then I was like, but that means I literally have to give up friend time.
And that's fair.
To go be with my sponsor when all I want to do is hang.
It was becoming a real conflict of interest.
Yeah.
But that's how we met. And
it was amazing and beautiful.
It really started something so truly wonderful, because I know that I can call you with my weirdest, most insane thoughts, and literally just hearing your voice brings me a sense of peace and calm.
I feel like we don't call that much anymore, but when we do, I feel like we like cry because we've missed each other's voices. And we're like, wow, I didn't know I needed this.
It's really so sweet. I'll cry right now.
It is. Don't.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So Olivia, with however little or however much you would like to share, can you give us a brief overview of your story and your journey with sobriety?
I would love to. I feel like it's a bit confusing. Like,
yeah, they all are.
We're a little lost and confused through the entire process of being an addict and alcoholic.
Period.
So basically, in 2023, I went to rehab. Shocker. And the weird thing is that I truly didn't know that I had an issue. Literally up until like my 3rd week there. I was in straight up denial. But it started way before that, when I was like in my preteens, I would say, is when I kind of started just having a little more fun than a preteen should. Maybe taking some pills that I find, testing it out, testing the waters.
Love a found pill.
We love a found pill, and we love collecting them. It's like people with Pokemon cards. I'm sorry, but it's my pills. I'm going to keep them hidden in my closet. And so then I think just like growing up doing that, I would just do dumb shit like that. And then it just kind of kept progressing, and I didn't ever really even notice that it was progressing. I was just like, oh my God, sick cocktail, gotta take these 20 pills throughout the day. And then to come down off those pills, if we take this mix in the evening, or maybe 3 days later when I've been up for 3 days, this is gonna help me. And I was like, dude, I'm literally the smartest person on earth.
Why isn't everyone doing this?
Like, why isn't everybody doing this? And then like on the side, like looking back, I don't think it was like, I thought it was like normal for people to do like mushrooms. And I was just like, yeah, everybody does mushrooms. Maybe not 6 grams a day for like months. Like, what are you talking about? And then also nitrous oxide. I don't think that's as a normal thing as I thought it was. It kind of it shouldn't be. But like, why was I doing that?
Who can say, really?
Took a lot of time off of my life probably from those days. But it just kind of progressed, and it was with things that I felt like didn't interfere with my like daily life, as in like I was very functional with it, because it was just like pills. I was like, I do great off these, and this is how I'm gonna function. And then that's when I turned 21. And I just kind of hit the fucking ground running with that one. I started drinking, and I was just like, dude, why would I literally ever stop? Like, what's the point? And people like asked, like, kind of brought up to me, be like, tell me you like can't stop right now. I was like, no, I can, but why would I? Yeah. Like, what's the point in that? Like, a girl wants to have fun. This is what makes me feel good, and this is what makes me feel like me. Like, everybody loves me when I'm like this. Do I love me? No. But yeah, and then shortly after that kind of all came crumbling down, I was literally only 21 for 3 months. And keep in mind, I literally really didn't even drink beforehand. I didn't really touch it. I was just like, whatever. It's just too much of a hassle to be 20 and try and get alcohol.
It's hard.
And then, yep. Then the Sutter Homes.
Sutter Homes.
And the Franzia boxes came into play.
Slap that bag.
suck on it like a teat.
Period.
Like, I loved it. But it was not good for me, obviously. And then, and then I was sent off to a little rehab. Best time ever. Met a lot of amazing women there. Big experience, especially for somebody in denial and trying to leave.
Actively trying to escape.
For 3 weeks. And I only stayed about 4.5 weeks. The last week and a half, a lot of growth had to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And it did.
And that's what led me to you. So
and watching your story has been so, I mean, I don't want to say like enjoyable, because obviously the beginning was sad, but it's just been so much like a mirror of myself, because you were like, when you did come back, you were like, so sorry about that. And I was like, do you know how many women have sponsored me and have never heard from me again? Literally dozens of them.
All of them.
And then you just like really, because you just went to rehab the one time.
Just the one time.
That's so rare.
I know. I feel like I'm really fortunate, like lucky. Like, I think that, I mean, maybe if I was honest when I was younger about like the stuff I was taking, I would have been sent there instead of like an inpatient or like an outpatient treatment. But honestly, like, rehab was life-changing.
Yeah.
Life-changing. And I'm really fortunate I only go once. And hopefully I won't go back. Yeah. But I'm feeling good.
And like that's what's so impressive to me is like, first of all, how young you were starting out in all of this, and then I just had to go so many times really before anything changed. And
everybody's different.
Everybody is different, but it's been really so impressive to watch. Like, truly, it's, you know, you've put in a lot of hard work around it. And I know, like, I got sober finally when I was 25, and I felt like that was so young. Like, I was like, this is so unfair. This is actually, whoever has my voodoo doll, fuck you, dog.
Literally, what are you doing with my voodoo doll?
Like, I actually thought that I was gonna stop drinking when I was like 40. I didn't know it was gonna be like right now.
I was quite pissed to begin with.
I knew it was gonna happen. I just thought I was gonna have more time.
Right. I was like, okay, like, I'll stop when I'm at death's door. And even then, you know, I'm already at death's door. Might as well drink some more while I'm there. Literally. And I honestly don't know if I could have done it like without knowing you. Oh. Genuinely. No, because you were just like this beacon like through it all. Because like if I feel like if I didn't know you, like I'm not the person to like yes, if I need help, like I'll go out and search for it, but I will not go like and be like, I'm gonna find that in like a person, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, maybe like a counselor and be like, yeah, this is mid. No offense to a counselor. No, I love you. Never mind.
We won't name names.
We won't name names, but almost forgot.
I feel like you also helped me so much, because it's like, I think because we're so similar in so many ways, like, but then I care about you in the ways that I struggle to care about myself. So like it was like watching a version of me, but the one that I don't have any resentment or like hatred towards, and just wanting you so badly to succeed and get to the other side of it, that it helped me in a way. Like I feel like our friendship has been so healing for me. Yeah. And I'm just really so grateful for it. I would start screaming.
No, yeah, I literally think I do, and I always have, like, just viewed you as, like, this almost, like, older version of me that, like, has made it. And I'm like, one day I'm gonna be like that. When I grow up, I want to be Bridget. And I'm like, if I just hang on, if I just keep going, I'm gonna end up like that, and I'm gonna be thriving.
And now you're
Who knows?
thriving.
Burnt Bridge podcast.
Look
Like
at us.
literally.
Look at us.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have
Who'da
thought? It also made it past our iPad podcast that we filmed once and did nothing with.
Yeah, we really did not do anything with that, to be honest with you.
No, full intentions too.
Yeah, no, always the purest of intentions.
But
Here we are. And that's all that matters. Okay, period. Let's move on. Let's go to, what's the moment you knew you had a problem? Was there one moment that you remember specifically?
I feel like I didn't believe at least the alcoholic allegations until rehab. But I feel like there was like times throughout my life, like especially when I was younger, that I was like, this literally might not be super normal. And like those kind of stick out to me where I'm like, this is weird. But I loved doing it and I wasn't going to stop doing it. Mm-hmm. Like there was this time, I think I was like 14 or 15. Sign, literally trigger warnings, about to get a little kind of sad.
That's what we're all about.
I had attempted, but the thing was, it failed, luckily. Like I'm still kicking.
Yeah.
But what it did was it got me extremely like messed up, like fucked up. Like couldn't walk, couldn't see straight, throwing up everywhere. But I liked it. And I would just keep doing that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who would have thunk me taking X amount of this substance wasn't going to kill me? Mm-hmm. It was going to jack me up in a way that I didn't feel like myself. And I could say, I'm sick, I'm staying home. Mm-hmm. I'm good. You know? And so that was definitely, I think, my first time that I was like, weird. Why would I do that? And then I think moving on, like people mentioning like small things to me being like, if say I was coming off of like a stimulant or something that I've been taking too many times a day. And I'm like, wow, I feel like I need to rip my skin off. And they're like, you know what this sounds like? Like you're withdrawing. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Me?
How can I withdraw? That's not on my bucket list. And so I was like, no, you're crazy for that. And so that kind of like slipped like ideas in my mind. So like the idea of going to rehab wasn't totally like, oh, like I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
But I knew that when I was there, like ultimately, like coming down to it, I'm gonna have to accept reality.
Yeah. And
then it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks when I was in there, and I was like, guys, you might be up to something here, because I keep reading this book you give me, and I'm in like 12 hours a day of these therapy sessions and everything, and it's starting to add up. Mm-hmm. So I think that's when it definitely registered. Mm-hmm. It clicked in my brain. I said, oh no.
Oh no.
And then even then when I left, I said, but were they right? Mm-hmm. And I tried again. And then I kept trying again. So I was like, oh, I think they're right.
Yeah. And that I think is like the thing that is so weird about addiction is like, I always thought when I was younger, like I thought that addicts and alcoholics, I don't know, obviously I like didn't have any logistical reason to think this, but I just thought that they knew that they were
right.
Like I thought like they just knew inherently that that's what it was. Like, so then not feeling like that's what was going on with me made it hard to like accept, because I was like, well, I've never been before right. I've been with all these normal people doing the same things that they're doing. Now granted, I have taken it a little too far at this point, but I feel like no one came to me in a dream and was like, now you have reached this limit and you may never return from it and you're going to be an alcoholic forever.
Right.
Have so much fun with that girl. That never happened. And I just thought it would.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, nobody told us.
Well, and they did tell us.
Except for
I said, no,
when
you're
it was
wrong.
too far.
I was like, hey, actually, that feels really judgmental of you.
Why would you say that?
Why would you say that to
I'm
me
not that kind of girl.
And like, also, I think a big part of like both of our stories that is very similar is the feeling, which I think a lot of alcoholics and addicts have this, but is the feeling of like, I don't really care what it is. I just don't want to feel like me.
Yeah.
I just don't want to feel like me.
Yeah. I felt like I had no, like, people ask, like, oh, what's your, drug of choice? Anything I could touch. Anything I just could get my hands on, and I could get a supply enough that I'm like, I know that this can last me until I can find something else that's going to replace that in a couple months.
Yeah.
It's
literally.
Like rotation.
And, like, it's also just so strange that, like, then you have to get sober from the substance that you're physically dependent on now.
Yeah.
So, like, it starts with the emotional thing. Then it becomes a physical dependence. And then you have to break the physical dependence, which is the hardest thing of all time.
Right.
And then you're still left with the version of yourself at the beginning who wanted to escape from yourself.
It's really jacked up who made the system.
Like, whoever was running the show up there, why would you do that?
Stop it.
Because honestly, that's why it's so hard to get sober.
Yeah.
It's because the whole reason that I wanted to do all those things to begin with still exists.
Right.
And that, obviously is what, like, recovery is about, is to figuring out a way to make your brain a place where you can live in peace and not actively try to escape it at all times.
Right.
And
it's not always the easiest time in the world.
No.
And it's still not easy now sometimes. So you just got to keep trying.
And you got to keep people in your life that are on that same path. And can remind you of, like, this is what it's all about. And I think that's why, like, our friendship has always been so special to me, is because I just look at you and I see, I want you so badly to succeed and to be happy. That it makes me want to succeed and be happy too. And it just really keeps me on track, and it's really beautiful.
You keep me on track.
Period. Now, here's a fun question.
Fun.
If you had to name your drunk/high alter ego, what name would you give them, and what were they like?
I had one. His name was Tyler. And he always wore a backwards hat. Couldn't go without. I didn't become Tyler unless I had a backwards hat. So I could just be like speaking like Tyler one day, but I'm not him without the hat.
Can we maybe like hear like a Tyler?
You want to hear Tyler?
I was like, Tyler, I heard him before.
Tyler's here, and
God.
Tyler wants a kiss.
Tyler, welcome to the podcast. Won't be doing that.
Why won't you kiss Tyler?
Tyler, maybe if you had the backwards hat, things would be different.
I just want to say Tyler came out a lot around my roommates at the time, one who I had relations with.
I did not have relations with Tyler.
Tyler just loved trying to kiss up on boys.
Tyler. Classic Ty.
Ty really wanted to kiss up on boys, but boys did not want to kiss up on Tyler.
Damn it.
And I was so pissed. And, Tyler just thought it was his backwards hat or something.
He was like, maybe if I put the hat forwards.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I don't think he ever tried that. He should have. Well, he's not coming back now, so he can't try.
He's no longer with us.
May he
rest in
peace.
Power. We love you, Tyler. But don't return. Thank you so
Tyler.
much. Tyler, and mine was Brian.
It's always so odd when I hear that name.
I know. Shout out to all the Brians out there.
Shout out to my dad.
Shout out to your dad, Brian, and also to me when I was drunk, Brian.
Shout out to real Brian and real drunk Brian.
Brian was such a goofy guy.
What was he up to?
He cried a lot.
Brian in touch with his emotions, I see.
Not Brian being emotionally intelligent.
Intelligent is not the part.
No, because like he was crying in not okay settings to cry.
No.
He also didn't really know how to walk. He fell quite often, and that's okay.
And nobody can laugh about that because that's ableism.
Up. No, genuinely.
So think about it.
I like to think that wherever Tyler and Brian are today,
I hope that they're together.
I think they're probably kissing.
Maybe kissing.
Oh my God! That's congratulations, perfect. Tyler and Brian.
Just married. I hope I get their wedding invite.
Oh my God, me too. Should we make one?
Yes. I'm going to send it out to everybody.
Literally, but only we'll be invited. Just to show
Essentially, yeah. We won't put like an address or like a date or a time. It's literally just like
It's just forever.
Tyler and Brian are together now. It's an announcement.
Yes.
Like an Amber Alert.
You love to make like an edit.
I love to make an edit.
Literally, we'll be talking about something. 15 minutes later, I get a text, and she's made a graphic of what it was we were discussing. And it's like, one
amazing.
time we also do this thing where I don't know why we just sing the national anthem together. And one time you made an American edit with like an eagle and a flag. It was incredible. I'd like you to do one of those for Tyler and Brian, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually just made an edit this week of my coworker, and it's for his birthday, and it's all flames, and he has glowing eyes,
Period.
and it says that he's mature now because it was, he turned 32. So congratulations to him. Happy birthday. And yeah, there's a baby on it somewhere getting a thumbs down. There's also like a bunch of screeching people in the corner that like also want to be as mature as him.
Right.
So it's just like it's emotional piece if you think about it.
Tune in next week. We'll have the edit made of Brian and Tyler. We'll use my rehab intake picture. And that one of you crying on the side of the road when your tire was flat or whatever it was.
Sobbing.
It's my favorite picture of you.
I wish I had my intake photo, but I think, I don't know, they like zoomed out the camera, and so it was like it almost looked like a fisheye lens or something. And I'm like literally like
that's a worst case scenario for a rehab intake picture.
Dude, I was smiling in that photo. I was just like having the best time ever because I was so convinced that I was like, no, I'm gonna show them that I'm not an alcoholic, that I only drank the night before, but not that morning of.
Wow, impressive.
I know, I was literally so sober. So I showed up like with just the biggest smile on my face and be like, yep, like I'm here. I'm ready to go and I'm going to show you.
Ready to party.
Bitch, they took away half my clothes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because of
it was too graphic.
hazards? Oh.
Yeah. They're like, hey, it's a trauma center too, babes. Like you can't be like wearing like The Exorcist on your shirt. Mm-hmm. We also have like a lot of like Christians here are probably going to like think that you're like some sort of like devil if you like wear this around them. And I'm like, moo.
Maybe I am.
I'm gonna get you.
Just smiling ear to ear, walking in.
Hi guys.
With your exorcism shirt on.
I lost that shirt. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Loved
Up with
you.
Tyler and Brian. They're probably wearing
Tyler's
it
wearing
together.
it. Yes. In one shirt. like little what are they called? Siamese twins attached.
Literally joined at the hip.
I'm just gonna stop talking about them because I'm gonna go on forever.
I'm actually gonna get upset if you keep doing it. I miss him. What do you wish someone had told you earlier in your recovery / what would you say to someone who's like at the place you were at before you got sober?
Literally, talk to the hoes that want to help you. Mm-hmm. Talk to them. Because they will help you.
That's wild.
It's crazy to think that a sponsor will sponsor. Like, who would have thought? I mean, I'm still like, yeah, I'm very fortunate. Like, I feel like I had a very quick turnaround. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just think that, like, girl, like, you don't have to be as lonely as you're making yourself to be.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to isolate this hard that you're, like, on the verge of just like, I can't do this anymore.
That's my favorite thing when you can't say something serious. And then you just go, I'm going to piss myself. I'm actually not wanting to live.
Actually, guys, I think I'm going to clock out. Yeah, I think just don't. Like, literally don't isolate yourself. I think that's the biggest thing is for a girly like me and a girly like you, we love to literally we love the app, just not about what's important.
Yeah.
So I think that is the biggest thing because I feel like if I just trusted the people around me that wanted to help and made it clear that they want to help, like, I would have gotten help sooner. Mm-hmm. And I get help now.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not saying, like, that. But I'm just, like, yeah. Like, just, can you just believe one other person than yourself for once? Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
That's really it. Because I thought everyone was lying to me. I was like, you guys are like, I get what you're saying. And I'm so happy it worked for you.
Right.
You don't understand what I'm going through, though.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is
We're just so original.
they literally did understand all along. And I was
They're like, we
oh,
literally have been there.
wait a second. What do you mean?
What do you mean you've literally been here? No, you haven't.
Because when you're getting sober, like, it's the first time you've ever done that.
Yeah.
So you can't see what the other side looks like. It's impossible to imagine.
Right.
So when you see other people on the other side of it, you're like, I don't believe that you were as bad as me.
Yeah.
Because I can't, that doesn't seem possible to me at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, wait, it actually is.
The weird thing is, like, I know that, like, you saying, like, oh, like, you're not as bad as me. The weird, I don't know if this will come up in another question, but it's, like, almost, like, I know that I had a quick turnaround. And I know that I got sober young. And, like, to me, like, because I used to only say, like, hey, I'm just an alcoholic. Like, and I would kind of, like, basically write off the many years before that I was doing everything else. And was just like, that doesn't count. Mm-hmm. I was self-medicating. That's just my medicine. Okay? We don't want to count that. We only want to count the 3 months that I was drinking. Mm-hmm. And so, for me, I was like, oh, well, I'm not as bad as them, so I have the right to get as bad as them. Mm-hmm. And I have the liberty. My neighborhood liquor store loves me, okay? So
They will be hearing from me.
I'm sorry that I'm just such a good customer, all right?
Sorry, I have loyalty.
Sorry, I have a punch card, all right? I'm a daily subscriber on multiple accounts. But, like, it's like that. Like, so I was like, I have the right that I can get worse, and I'm going to keep getting worse because literally, what do you mean I'm an alcoholic that needs to stop drinking now? I'm not like you. Mm-hmm. I turned this boat around. Mm-hmm. I got sent to rehab. My mom said, I'm pulling the car over if you keep doing this. She pulled the car over into rehab. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it was kind of like a weird.
Yeah, it's either we're not bad enough or we're worse than everyone else.
Yeah.
And I heard something the other day that I really loved. That was like, when I stopped viewing sobriety as a punishment and started viewing it as like, I'm the only one who's suffering from my addiction. And like, I just wanted to change for the better. That is so what it was like for me. Like, yeah. I really thought anyone who wanted me to be sober actively hated me and wanted me to die. I was like, you must not love fun or my happiness then. Mind you, the happiness had gone away many moons ago.
Yeah. She was gone.
And the only person I was punishing by drinking was myself. Like, I mean, everybody else, suffered for it, but I was the one truly suffering the worst. But yet I thought that they were like punishing me. It's weird.
Right.
It's just strange.
On it.
I do too.
That's beautiful.
It's really helped me. So, well, I guess that's kind of the same question. How do you handle hard days now?
Oh boy, I pet my cat.
Period.
I feel like now it's just kind of resorted into. Sorry, I just feel like it was. Is that how you say that word? Doesn't even sound right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think now it's definitely gotten to like a point where I'm feeling pretty solid in my like sobriety that I'm like, yo, I don't think I'm gonna like throw this away right now after a year and a half. Like, I don't think like that is worth it. However, there are days that I'm like, yo, like I literally couldn't, nobody would know. Like, nobody would know, and I'd have my fun. And then I'm like, okay, girl, this is not going to be fun, because let's remind you of the last time you drank. That was not fun, hence why you are sober now for a year and a half since that day.
And I think it's so dangerous for girls like us to drink because it's a depressant.
So depressing.
And as people who struggle with that,
yes,
it can take me at least to an extremely dark place that I don't foresee it taking me to. And then it's like, it happens so often that it's the combination of those two things that end up taking people. And that's what I always think about. It's like, right now, I don't feel like checking out. of this life.
Yeah.
Why would I do something that has a large percentage chance of making me want to do that again?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. That's essentially like when I have a hard day, like I just need, like, I know that if I were to drink, like I was like, it'll probably be the last one, like for me.
Yeah.
Like, and so I just remind myself of that. And I'm like, I've worked hard for this. I know that the people around me, like, they don't want to see me suffer any more than I'm already just suffering in the day-to-day life. I'm sorry, but even sober, you still have a hard day, especially these days.
Period.
But it's just a lot of taking the time to be grateful what you've worked for, and like knowing what you've done, and then just give yourself a pat on the back, guys.
Hey, love that. What was there a specific moment, maybe like post rehab, that made you finally say like, I'm done with this?
Yeah, I think for me it was definitely like, because it was like I would drink and then for like 3 weeks and I'd be like, I'm getting sober, maybe for 3 days, and then I'd bring a bunch of wine and margaritas home and make my roommates drink with me. Sorry, guys.
My apologies.
I was like, I don't want to get the balloon. So I think for me, like the last straw was, I know that I was going through kind of like a tough time with some friends that were like, still are, love them, love you guys, very close to me. And I think that turmoil from that, like, was taking a big toll, because I was like, oh my God, like my whole life's falling apart. I also went through like a breakup that meant a lot to me, like shortly after I got out of rehab. And so it was all kind of adding up, and I was going to
say it in a normal voice. Right?
Commit suicide.
Okay. When I said normal. I was gonna commit sewer slide.
And I just got lucky enough that I think that there was like a sign, and I don't really believe anything spiritually, but I do like think that this was a sign, like whatever it was kind of kept me from doing it. It like literally without like saying exactly what was going on, but it was like a physical barrier. Like I couldn't get to what I was trying to achieve. And from literally that moment, like I've also like never prayed, and that was like the only night I prayed, and I said like, yo, like if I try this sober thing again and it doesn't work and I can't get this shit down, like I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Like I am at a loss, and the only thing I can think to do is to just stop drinking, because like this is like what is ruining a lot of things right now, especially like now, like once you're out of rehab and like you are first, like you realize you're an alcoholic, it changes like everything. And it's like you're realizing how much everything is like seeping into everything, and it's just a wild time. So I was like, well, this is clearly my issue. They told me quite a few times, and I am seeing my repercussions more than ever, because I'm realizing, oh my God, I am. So I just texted you the next day, and I said, I think I'm ready. Do you want to like talk or something? And yeah, so I think it was just like that was my lowest low. Yeah. And I was like, this is about to be it for me. And it wasn't, thank God.
Yay.
Girl boss.
No, truly Girl Boss of the Century award. I think that's like so, like that was I had so many consequences that were like probably in most people's eyes worse than the last time I got sober. But it was that exact same feeling of like, I'm going to give this one last shot. And if it doesn't work, see you guys never.
Like, we know how this is going to end if this doesn't go through.
I can't keep doing this. I'm going to try as hard as I can on this one. And then, turns out here we are. Yes. But sometimes it just really takes that level of desperation to do what is like necessary and very uncomfortable. But I do absolutely believe that, you know, there was something there with you that day and something there with me that, you know, pushed me in the right direction, because nothing I had wanted that before, but it just needed to all happen in that exact moment, and all those pieces had to come together.
Yeah. And honestly, texting you, I was like, I don't even want to do this. But what else am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Because it's either I do this or I'm going to die. Like, I don't literally, what the heck? What the heck am I supposed to do? So sorry.
If our two very separate and not the same therapists are watching, they're going to be like, damn, they did not learn anything.
I'm so sorry, girl.
Literally every time I'm like, so anyways, freaking super depressed this week. She's like, hey, what if we set it normal? Yeah, no, I can't do that.
No.
Can't do that.
Can't.
And that's why we get along, because sometimes we will both be like, hey, what if you told me what was really happening?
Crazy. Literally the most wild idea. We're crazy girls.
We're so crazy. And everybody needs that person who you can joke about with, but then also in the serious moments that are actively happening, be like, hey, but actually really what's going on?
But BFFR.
But be so for real. Okay, great.
Love.
Okay, for me, I have learned so much about myself in sobriety that I didn't know about myself like ever before. Like, I think I'm a lot less socially awkward than I believed I was.
Yeah.
Not like completely absent of that, but just less so.
We have a little bit in us.
Everybody in the room's like, okay.
Yeah, okay, girl.
So. But you know, things like that. Like I just have discovered things about myself that I always thought I was lazy. I always thought I was messy, which some of those things are a little true, but not nearly to the extent I thought. Are there some things that you've learned about yourself in sobriety that you didn't know before?
Can't confirm I am still messy. Rock on. I think for me was literally like realizing probably that like I'm literally not the most terrible person on earth. Like, why did I think that I was some dictator, like going down in the history books, like a devil, like people, I'm like, I'm the worst person ever, and nobody should like me, and everybody should get away from me, and I ruin everything. And to be so truthful, I didn't really ruin a whole lot. I mean, I can't say that I was always the kindest person, but it was like a normal human reaction to things of like anger or like lashing out or something. And then I was just like, wow, somebody needs to put me down, because like I'm like a dog that like just bit some kid on the playground. Now I gotta take him back to the vet, be like, girl, bye.
That's the craziest thing, is like early on and really throughout all of it, all of our friendship, you've said that to me. Like, you've shared these moments where you're like, and I was so mean and da 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 da. Yet we've been so close for so long. We've never had a fight. There's never even been a moment of real tension at all.
I think the most you saw, like the extent of like what I was talking about, was like the PowerPoints I showed you. And even that, like looking at that now, like with you and like seeing that, like I was like, I mean, yeah, I was angry, but it wasn't like I was literally about, like, I'm not like this devil that's ruining the earth and gonna, I don't even know. I just thought it was horrible.
And quite literally, you're one of my favorite human beings on the planet. And everyone that like else that I've introduced you to in my life, like everyone's in agreement. And like you're always like, I'm so like, I don't want to, like, I'm scared to meet. And then meanwhile, you're the biggest hit of the night. Like everybody's fucking obsessed with you.
Literally like scared to speak, like in the corner, like but still being like, hi guys, I hope you're well. Here's a small tidbit about my week. And then everyone's like, yes. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Thanks, guys.
I think maybe like, I mean, you just are, your presence is so, I don't know, it's just like a little sunshine even when, which is so like anti, I think what your like aesthetic is.
Yeah.
But then I'm so sorry to break it to you, but I do feel like your soul is shining. I'll be so for real. Your aura is getting
Shut her
yellow.
down. Shut her down. No, don't shut her down.
Please come back.
Please.
Don't leave.
Keep shining. No. Yeah, I fear you do tell me that a bit. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God.
I think our darkness matches so perfectly
Yes.
that it's like whenever I don't know, you just like brighten my life. And it's crazy because like I don't like to call people when I'm struggling. Like I'll call you after the fact and tell you that I struggled, but I don't like to call people when I'm actively struggling.
Right.
But that's why so many times when I do call you and then I'm like, here's what's happening, and then I just like literally hear your voice and I'm like, oh my God, life is actually worth living.
It's okay now. Yeah. No, you are a little beacon. And I was like, it's like I forget how great it is when we like get to have our hangouts and like get to see each other, because in reality I feel like we only see each other about once like a month or 2 months, it like, and then I go there and I'm like, who would have thought that this would be so refreshing? I'm like, me, like I know it was like I'm obsessed with you, I love you. And I go, I'm like, wow, amazing. Who put us in the same room together?
And it speaks to both of our like truly how great our friendship is, because we're both people, I think, that like our natural inclination is towards solitude, and like thinking about a social setting is exhausting to both of us, I think, a little bit. And so, but the fact that we push through and we're like, no, we're gonna hang out,
do this.
And then when we do, it's amazing. And you are the first person, and probably only other than Emily, that I trusted with my son.
Yes.
Copper.
Copper's amazing,
Copper,
guys.
I know you're watching.
Copper,
I love you.
we love you.
My little furry man.
My best friend.
My bestie.
And I'll see you next weekend.
I know you're going to watch him next week.
I literally am looking forward to it. I get a
loves you.
notification. I get a notification on my phone quite a bit of like, you know, like spotlight images like from your phone. It's like 99% of the time Copper. I have so many pictures of him now, even like stuff from like your old place. And I'm like, we're just like playing the guitar, eating pizza, and Copper's sitting there enjoying the company.
You, me, Copper, and PPJ, aka Papa John. AKA PBJ. Weird man, great pizza.
Oh, weird man.
And I've always
Best
said that.
pizza. Put some extra cheese on the hoe.
Oh God, you turned me on to that. Life-changing.
Cinnamon pull apart.
Cinnamon pull apart.
Don't forget about those.
This podcast is sponsored by PPJ. It's not, but
Hey,
hey,
we're not opposed to the idea.
sorry about what I said about your personality, PPJ.
PBJ.
PPJ,
Sponsor her so
PPJ.
that I can just be invited to sit in the background and eat it.
PPJ, the what is it called? Garlic butter sauce?
The gutter. I love the gutter sauce.
We should call it gutter sauce. You should call it gutter sauce.
What are you doing wrong, PPJ?
PPJ, where are you? Okay, now we're going to move on to the segment of the show called Rock Bottom and Pink Cloud. So, Rock Bottom, worst thing that happened this week, or worst thing about this week. Pink Cloud, best thing about this week.
Worst thing this week? Grandpa's dead.
What?
I didn't know him. He had organ failure. I'm so sorry, Dad.
Wait. The fact that you just had that locked and loaded, ready to go, haven't even told me.
Well, I forgot to tell you because I didn't even know him. So I was like, I'm so sorry if my parents watch this. I know you're mourning.
The way you said it, too. Worst thing about this week? Grandpa's dead.
Like, that's totally a bummer.
Yes, absolutely.
Super bummer. Rest in peace. Anyway, Pink Cloud. I got a raise today.
Oh my god! Yes.
This is amazing.
Oh my god, 2 literally huge pieces of information. One's so bad, one's so good.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that raise.
So
So
to your
sorry,
parents,
Johnny.
So to your parents.
I think that's his name. I don't even know. It started with a J.
Johnny, James, whatever your name was.
Johansson.
But to your parents, I hope that the raise helped lift your spirits. Love you.
I'm so sorry.
Wow, that was
Whew.
my favorite rock bottom Pink Cloud yet. Like truly, I think that's gonna be
Give me a few months, I'll have another locked and
incredible. I don't even know what mine are gonna be. I think my rock bottom is gonna be the elevator incident of this morning.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
think about it for the rest of my life. One of the worst things to ever happen.
Yeah, that's not good.
If you're watching, don't fucking bring it up. Don't talk to me.
Don't.
It didn't happen. It was a figment of our imagination. It wasn't me.
It was
I
all make-believe.
possessed. Please. Someone listen. Please. Please. Pink Cloud of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to England in October.
She's literally
Gonna
so
go to
British.
bloody England.
Tea.
I'm
Are
gonna
you gonna
have
drink a lot of
some
tea?
I'm gonna go to the fucking Ferris wheel. It's called the London Eye.
Never heard of it.
The London Eye.
Yep.
Big Ben.
Truly.
I'm gonna see the
I'm
king.
not from there.
I'm gonna go to where Princess Di was.
Okay.
There were 3 of us in this marriage. Sorry. It's like 9 p.m. We're getting goofy out here.
I love it.
Amazing. Okay, that concludes Rock Bottom and Pink Clouds.
I'm so excited for
diabolical one yet. Now we're moving into the last segment. Before we do the last segment, is there anything else that I missed that you would like to share with the viewers and listeners?
Literally, not really.
Oh, great.
Because I feel like we've covered a lot.
We did cover a lot, I think.
What did we not cover?
I don't know. I think it was just an opportunity. You know, if there's any secrets, any other relatives that have passed this week.
I don't know. If they did, I didn't know them either. At least I didn't catch their name if they died.
Well, we didn't really know about Johnny's either.
I didn't know about Johnny until my mother texted me. And she said, oh no, he's dead. I said, who are we talking about? I never met him. He didn't want to be a part of my life.
Okay, well then I feel like it's okay that we laughed then.
Yeah. He literally opted out. He had the choice.
Oh, I don't like that.
He signed a waiver.
I'm opting in, so that's for me. Okay, last segment of the show. It's called
ma'am.
Close My Tab. And Close My Tab is a segment where we talk about the things that this week we are wanting to leave in the past. We're wanting to let go of them. This could be something mundane or it could be something big.
Johnny's ghost and... Watch his name not even be fucking Johnny.
Tell your parents to stop listening at the 45-minute mark.
I actually am gonna not tell them that on this.
I'll hide your mom from my Instagram
Yeah,
stories.
can you block her if she subscribes to you?
Can you block my mom?
I know my dad won't see because he's like not into these kind of things, but Carrie, she supports you.
I love her.
I think what are we closing that's actually meaningful besides that? Probably the shame of getting sober young, or thinking I have shame about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, we should be proud.
And we get to live 2 lives. That's what I always say. We got to do that one.
3 lives if we include Tyler.
Wow. There was 4 of us in this marriage. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's so hot.
It really is. Okay, amazing. Love that. Close my tab. What am I closing the tab on? I'm closing the tab on ever thinking about the elevator again. Won't be doing that. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And on a more serious note, I think this was mine last week, but I'm going to continue to say it until it becomes true.
Yeah.
I'm closing the tab on worrying about the future. I think I've really like done a lot with, like, I used to very much ruminate on the past, and now I'm very much like, I need this. When this happens, I'll be okay. When I get to this point, I'll be okay. And I forget that everything I have now, I was literally begging for.
Period.
And one day those things will happen for me, and then I'll be begging for something else if I don't fucking live in the moment right now.
You're
Gotta learn how to do that.
clears the turb.
Closing my tab on that.
Clears that turb.
We have to go to bed.
It's by my bedtime.
Olivia, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
I know this is like maybe a little out of your comfort zone, but by far my favorite episode.
I was straight up tweaking out all day about this. But I'm literally so happy to be here.
And I'm so happy that you came. And I think this is going to do well. I
think
think
it's
people are going to love it.
I hope so. And I just want them to all know, like, this is the sweatiest I've been in, like, a long time.
Me too. And if I'm glistening, know that that's just my natural sheen and it's not sweat or anything
Skin of
like
a
that.
killer, Bella.
Bella, where the hell have you been, Loca? Okay, Olivia, thank you
Bella.
so much for coming on the Burn Bridge podcast. We love you guys, and we're here every Thursday. Also, I wanted to say something very important to the listeners. Thank you so much for listening. Please leave a comment, share your story, join the community. Join the community of the Burnt Bridge podcast. I'm on TikTok as Sober Bridge. You can follow me on Instagram as Bridget Price with 3 E's in the end of Price. Very simple, straightforward. And we're on Spotify now too. So we love you, and that's it.
Oh, sick.
Can you